Are we live? Are we live? We should be live. Let's see, we're live. It says we're live. Now the question is, can I change the thumbnail? While we're live, can I change the thumbnail? If we can, I'll just do this quick. You guys won't have to deal with me talking too much. There you go. Okay. I think I did that in like 20 seconds. Not too bad. Yeah, it's all set. All right, I just want to make sure my sound's okay. Yeah, it's all set. All right, I just want to make sure my sound's okay. Okay, sounds okay. You're probably going to hear that echo. I'm going to go plug my phone in so I'm not distracted. We're going to get this show on the road. Okay, all set. Got my water, got my laptop, got the big pod going. I'm going to quick post this to the Big Ten channel. At Big Conference. So 2 of the Big Pod is now live. Feel free to stop by with any questions you have. Okay. Oh, geez. There you go. Silly goose. Okay. All right. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. So, playing this time, since the blocks have started, I'll kind of talk about trying to review some Beefy Cup games. It's not as important. I think it's just going to kind of waste time. So, this one, my plan is really to just go through season 34 games. I appreciate what you guys do in the Beefy Cup. Play your Beefy Cup games. But since I actually have some content to talk about, I don't want to make the podcast too long, so I'm going to try and just focus on NDL regular season games now. So we'll just kind of talk about what you guys have done in block 1 this far, and then kind of preview your next block. So that's my plan. And I'm going to go in alphabetical order again, just to make the chapters easy as possible for me to set up. I'm going to mute my computer because you don't need to hear the Discord notification sound. And yeah, so I'm going to make them in alphabetical order so I can set the chapters up easily. And yeah, that's it. So, without further ado, Illinois. So, NADOG, I'll do the same thing. I'll try and kind of show it. I'm not going to worry as much about the location for the recap. But NADOG, he played Louisville and Swovine. As kind of talked about, this was a very competitive game. He got off to a really good start. NADOG did. But Swovine came back, took the lead late. NADOG used one of the more intriguing uses of the free pass in this game. I think he had a 4th and 3 from his own, like 33 maybe. Went for it, did pick it up, was able to get down the field. Unfortunately, threw an interception to end that drive. Did not end up being successful. In like the third quarter, he's up by 3. And then Swovine got the pick, and then I think like the next play, I don't know. I was like taking a DiGiorno stuffed crust pepperoni pizza out of the oven, so I heard it on the TV. It's like right around the wall, but I wasn't watching it. But I think he scored like in like one play or something. So all of a sudden he's down. But then there might have been like 20 seconds left, maybe. NADOG was able to score a touchdown to go up by 2, made the extra point to go up 3, held off any potential come back. And with that, Nadog is 1-0 through block 1. He does not have a game week 2, so good start to the year for him. Akron coach last year, hoping he can continue it. He will have a more difficult game, I would say, in week 4, but first he has to play his week 3 game, which is going to be at home, thankfully for him, and is going to be against Chase, the Arizona State Sun Devils. Wow, this Arizona State team is rated really highly. I don't know if they deserve that. I mean, I've watched them play like in real life a couple times. One of my buddies went there for undergrad. They're okay. But yeah, Chase I think he lost his first game. Someone said it was surprising that he lost the first game. Chase, he hates on himself a lot, but he's pretty good. Nadog's also pretty good. I think this will be a good game, but I think Nadog being at home is going to help him a lot. I think he's going to start figuring out that Illinois offense as much as the defense. He kind of got stifled a little bit as the game went on with Swovine, but I think he'll adapt well. I'm predicting an Illinois victory here, so I think Nadog's going to start the season 2-0. And then for his other game, he has his first Big Ten game of the year against the next team alphabetically in the Big Ten, the Indiana Hoosiers, who, of course, I will talk about, but I'll talk about it at a later date or later in the podcast. But honestly, they're next alphabetically, so I can just talk about them right now. Big Mike, he had a huge win against Baylor. I want to say, oh no, okay, good, I didn't close it. Yeah, Baylor, he beat Jumper at Baylor by 10. Great win for him, kind of started the season off strong. Baylor, of course, went on to beat Georgia as well, so great win for Mike in the Big Ten. And so he's gonna have to come to Champaign and take on Nadog. Jeez, I mean, you look at this overall difference. Man, Indiana's got 94 offense and 92 defense. Nadog's good, but man, Big Mike's just better. I think skills-wise, they're probably about the same. But like I said, this season, definitely going to be supporting the guys that have been in the P4 for longer because I think they're more adjusted to how the P4 works. I think you need a season to get acclimated. That's how it's happened time and time again. You look at what's happened with Jose right now. You definitely need that season. You look at what happened with Jumper last year. You can make the playoff, don't get me wrong, but to just be dominant, like guys can be in the group of 5 when they first join, it doesn't happen. So I think we're going to have Big Mike pulling this one, coming away with a victory in this one, which also allows me to kind of go to the next team, which is Indiana, and touch on his other game, which is at Virginia Tech. I guess I will show the Baylor game just for completeness sake. Mike did win this game. It was at Baylor. Jeez, he's got a lot of away games. It was at Baylor. He did pull off the victory. Some people are a little surprised by it. I think Jumper had the great year at FAU. People think very highly of him. Mike has done really well at Florida, but I think not always is recognized. So great job by him getting that victory. And then he has a tough game against Chase and Virginia Tech. Maybe not so tough overall wise, but just tough user wise. Chase gave D Candy a great fight, great run for his money with Ohio State in block 1. I expect him to kind of do the same. I don't think Mike's going to run away with it, but I think it'll be close. But I do think Mike will get the victory. So expecting Mike, if he does take care of his LSU game, which is still yet to be played, I expect him to be 4-0 heading into a block 3. But for block 2, I'm predicting 2 victories for Mr. Big Mike in Indiana. I call people Mr. a lot, I realized when I was listening to the podcast last time. So try and mix up my words, use a little bit of a different vernacular, change up the lexicon. Okay, next one, Iowa. Let's close them so my browser doesn't get so crowded. Iowa and everyone's favorite. He hasn't been as active in the live chat, I've noticed. But one of everyone's favorite coaches, because he's a very nice guy. Jeremy Hubbard. He had a game against Army. American. Hit against Army, won by 10. Great start to the year for him. Yeah, like I said, last year was rough at Northern Illinois, so I'm glad he scheduled a game like this where he has an 11 overall advantage. He has a chance to win, and he took advantage of it and won. This game was at Army, so he did have to deal with a little bit of a road crowd, but he was still able to come away with the victory. And then he also played the Iowa, or the Cyhawk Trophy. It's like, I wish they came up with a cooler name for it. Like the Battle of the Corn, the Corn Battle, the Corn Clash. That'd be kind of cool, the Corn Clash. Regardless, Iowa State, Iowa, Jeremy wasn't able to come away with the victory here. I think Antelope's going to be a pretty good coach. He's able to win 45-29. So Jeremy's coming into block 2 at 1-1. His first game of the block is going to be on the road against another pretty good team in the Big 12. He's going to take on the Arizona Wildcats and Coach Muros, who I must show my hand here. I'm not super familiar with. Yeah, he's a newer coach. He's interesting. He played in season 30 and he came back for season 33, skipped 32 and 31, or 31 32. So he's kind of had a mixed record. He did pretty well at Louisiana Tech, if I remember correctly. Like they were 8-5, but I remember him having some nice games. So I think this is going to be a pretty even matchup coaching wise. Being on the road, I don't love it, but I mean, I'm the commissioner of the Big Ten. I'm going to pick my Big Ten guy, so I think Jeremy's going to come away with the victory here. His next game is not going to be by any means an easy one. He's going to take on quite a good user at Rutgers, who's going to come to Iowa to try and stop the Hawkeyes from starting off their Big Ten season with a victory. This one, I don't think this one's going to be particularly close. I think MJ Kemp is he just knows how to. He's really good at this game. Glad to have him. Like I said, glad to have him back. Expect him to do very well with the Big Ten, and happy he has the time, work through what was going on with his family, and I hope he enjoys being back. And I look forward to watching this game, but I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I'm thinking this one might be over by halftime. But I expect both of them to have fun because they're both very enjoyable coaches to converse with, and I haven't played MJ Kemp before, but having played Jeremy, he's fun to play against. I know there's an AI video going around, I guess, of me suggesting I wish Jeremy would die in a fire. No, I don't hope he would die in a fire. It's okay. His running back broke 14 tackles against Central Michigan. I'll survive. Yeah. So yeah, that was AI, as people like to say. That video was AI. I did not suggest that I hoped he died in a fire. Okay. Jeez. Talked about that for way too long. Okay, now sorry, I'm back on track. Jeez, that was a bit of a ramble. We'll try to not do that again. Okay, so now the Maryland victim. First game of the year, he skipped block 1. Took 2 bye weeks. He's gonna go on the road, so let me flip this. Boop, 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 boop. Maryland. MWC UNLV. So he's going to go on the road. Let me see. Did he play a Beefy Cup game yet? Yeah, he's 1-1. I think he's 1-1 last time I checked. So no games played for the last week for Victim. He's going to start off his season. Jeez, this isn't even overall matchups. That is so disgusting. So disgusting that Maryland, Minnesota's kind of in the same boat, and Purdue and Northwestern just have terrible overall teams despite being in the Big Ten. It just makes it so difficult for them to compete. But he's going to go on the road, take on UNLV in Black Rain, who I think's a vet like he is. Just want to make sure. Yeah, Coach 144. He's definitely a veteran. Yeah, he's been around since season 10. He's been UNLV every single year. I don't know how I didn't realize that. But yeah, so UNLV guy at UNLV. I'll take. No, I'm going to pick the Big Ten guy. I mean, come on. It's a Big Ten pod. We're taking the Big Ten guy. So I'm going to take Big Ten. I'm going to take Maryland. I'm going to take Victim to start the year with a victory against UNLV. And then he gets to play his first conference game at home. So flip that. And it's against a returning Big Ten user. Well, semi-returning. He wasn't here last season, but the seasons prior. He's going to take on RB. This one's going to be, I think this will be a really good matchup. RB kind of RB's like a guy where he plays everyone close regardless of where their skill's at. So if they're really good, he plays them close. If they maybe aren't quite up to his level, he'll also play them close, which I think makes it fun. Makes it fun to watch the game when it's a lot closer. So I do expect RB comes away with the victory here. I just want to make sure I'm remembering this right. Like, I think Victim's like the second guy I ever played in an NDL game. Because he was UNC, right? Yeah. Yeah, so I played him as Coastal Carolina back in season 29, and we had a very fun conversation afterwards, so it was very enjoyable. But that being said, I also think it's very fun to talk to RB. So, two guys really like to talk to. I think they're really good dudes. I do think RB is going to come away with the victory just because his team's a little bit better, and I also think he has a little bit more skill in the sticks, I would say, having played both of them. So I'm going to pick RB in this one. So thinking Victim's going to go through block 2, 1-1. He'll beat UNLV, but I think he'll stumble here against Wisconsin. Will not win that game. Now, moving on to one of the more higher overall teams in the Big Ten with Michigan. He has played both of his Block 1 games, and he won them both. His first game he played against, let me just throw him up here, so kind of if you're skipping through the video, you can see who I'm talking about. His first game he played against Auburn, Mr. Weasel, of course. Played against Weasel, of course. Known for giving up 50 points to Middle Tennessee in his first game. Everyone loves to talk about that. I think it's cool he scored 80. He scored much less than 80 against Zoots in this game. He only scored 14. Zoots scored 31. Very close game up until the fourth quarter. Zoots had just a couple of broken tackle breakaways. He also had a great goal line stand. I was able to win 31-14. Start the year off quite well, and then he seemed like he was trying to kind of figuring things out, but then, man, he went and played Florida State and Shoddy Mac, and he didn't have to figure anything out. Looking at the score, let me do my due diligence and pull up the, oh, dang it, I held control and I clicked, but do my due diligence, make sure it wasn't a close game. It was a close game at half, actually. It was 21-20 at halftime, but then Zoots won the second half 31-0, which resulted in, for your mathematicians, a 52-20 victory for the Michigan Wolverines. So he was able to start the year 2-0, helps a lot. Makes the year's a lot easier when you start 2-0, especially ranked as he was. He's currently 13 in the preseason poll. When you go out and win your 2 games, that helps a lot because I think as the polls start going, it's difficult. It becomes more difficult to crack them as you're getting in as the season goes along. So being able to maintain your position in the top 25 after that first week, that goes a long way for staying up there, keeping you in the CFP hunt. Although I think the CFP guys do a really good job of ignoring the polls a little bit, because I do think sometimes as we vote in the polls, we don't always take as much time as we should to go through everything. But regardless, I appreciate everyone who votes in their polls, and it's a plug if you guys are listening before tonight at 3 a.m. to put 3 a.m. Eastern to put in your polls, get the free points. You won't be able to do coach reports to get those points back this year. So his block 2 schedule, he starts against me in Central Michigan. A 12 overall difference. He's at home. That my first game of the year, I played against Metro. I lost by 2. I don't think I look particularly good. I think Michigan's defense is really good. If you look at my offense, it's really bad. 25-point difference between offense and defense. That's going to be tough to overcome. And watching Zoots play, I think he's starting to figure out how his guys work a little bit, and I think he's going to I think he'll win this one. My aunt was, how much is he going to win by? I think he'll probably win by like 14. I'll try my best to keep it close, but he's got a much better team. I expect him to control the game with his much better team. Now, that's the last non-con game for the year for him, and then he'll stay in Ann Arbor and host Mr. MGR, Nebraska Cornhuskers, who obviously we'll talk about later, but just brief recap, 1-1 going into this game. Going to be quite an interesting matchup because this was a game that had the same coaches for several seasons, considering how long Freak and MGR were at these teams. So it'll be the first one with a new coach at Michigan, still the same coach at Nebraska. I think this one's actually going to be really close. I think MGR is, like I was talking about with RB, I think he can play almost anyone close. He's not going to get blown out by... The guys aren't going to blow him out. He's going to play every game tight. And I think the same thing will happen here. I think what Weasel has been in the live chat saying, wow, like that home field advantage at the Big House just took over at some point. I think it's going to happen again here. So I think I'll keep it close, and then I think Zoots gets something similar to what he got in the game against Weasel, where he kind of runs away with it in the fourth. So I'm thinking maybe like a 14-point victory, but definitely a close game. Scoreboard probably won't be as accurate to how close the game was. But I guess with that, I think Michigan will start the year 4-0, which is great for them. And great for the Big Ten. Now, his counterpart in the Mitten State, MSU, he took week 1 off and then played mean CMU. I already kind of brushed on the game, but Metro did a really good job. He started off down 10-0. I think like his first play, he fumbled. I recovered it. And then the next drive, he threw a pick 6. But he was able to, from that point on, I don't know if he punted the entire rest of the game. Maybe I held him to a couple field goals, maybe, but he really picked it up offensively. Defensively, left a little to be desired considering how low rated Central Michigan's offense is. They expect him to not give up 36 points to a team that's at that level. So I hope he'll pick that up because his offense is there, and if his defense can kind of be there as well against some of the better coaches, be a great year for him. So he scheduled someone who's one of Smitty and what is his name? Devon's buddies, and Ryan Collins. He had a great year with, who was he last year? Tulsa, right? He had a great year with Tulsa last season. He ended up going 11-3. Maybe in a year where there wasn't a Jose, he might have made the playoffs. But he's going to come in with BYU. I think he has played a game. He's played both his games. He lost both his games. Tight games, though. Scheduled 2 big-time NDL vets in DeCane and Steam. Lost both of them, so he's coming in this game 0-2. He was ranked to start the year. Likely will not be ranked when this game is played. Lost both games by a combined score of 10. So that's pretty good. So I think this will be an incredible game, considering Ryan has the overall advantage, but Metro has that home field advantage. I want to say Sparty was 23rd in the country for home field, so definitely going to help him out there. So I do think Metro is going to pull off this one due to the home field advantage, which really messes guys up, especially considering failed hot routes count. It's definitely playing a big factor. So his next game is his first Big Ten game, and it's against USC in Cruising. So this is a MAC rematch from last year. Would have been Western for Metro D, Eastern for Cruising. Western and Metro D were able to win this game last year. I want to say they played it twice because they had like a disconnect and then they just replayed the whole game, and Metro was up in both games. So definitely a chance for some redemption for Cruising. He's had a decent start to the year. I say decent. I mean, he's definitely undefeated, right? He's undefeated because he hasn't played a game. So he hasn't really played a game yet. He's done well in the Cup. Yeah, he did well in the Cup. He won his group. Didn't drop a single game. Played a really tight one with Steam, only won by 3, but took care of Georgia Southern and Wyoming. So we'll see if this is his first game or if this is his second game, if he does play his game against Cal. But if it's his first game, this will be a really big matchup. Looking forward to this one. This is definitely one you want to tune into just because it's a rematch of a MAC intra-Michigan MAC game. Now one coach is all the way on the other side of the country. Other side of Michigan's not really on the East Coast, but way far away at USC. One coach is staying in this Mitten State and MSU, so I think it's going to be tight. I don't know if I'd have to go back and look if that's a big overall boost for USC, but the fact they have a 91 offense, 88 defense, that is huge. Like, my goodness. So I do think Cruising is going to win this one just because I think it's hard to beat this same guy twice in a row. So I'm going to take Cruising, but I think this is going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to all the Big Ten games this year. I think they're all going to be very interesting. So I think Metro, recapping, I think Metro is going to be 2-1 after this block because I think he'll drop this game, but he'll beat BYU. So we got the next team on the list is Minnesota and Knowles. Knowles has had a really good start to the year. He's put up a really impressive showing. His first game he played Toledo in football, Kelly. I mean, even though that he is the lower overall team, despite being the P4 team, I think he's a pretty good coach, as he showed by beating Mort, and so he was able to win this one by 25. And he's other game this in Block 1 has already been played, so props to him for playing both his Block 1 games already. Was against Duke. He unfortunately dropped that one by 3 points, but still played a great coach in Texanol, very tight, so I think he's definitely going to make some noise. He only has one game in this block, and it's against a coach that I think is going to regret scheduling this game. It's Weasel. And man, after Knowles beat Moore, played Jose really tight. Weasel's really good, but I don't know. You watch the games, it's like he's really good, but how's he gonna handle being when he plays like the good schools? I gotta go with my guy Knowles. I think unfortunately for Weasel, fortunate for us in the Big Ten, I think Weasel's going to go 0-2 against his Big Ten opponents this year, and I think Knowles is going to come away with that victory. Knowles is going to start the year 2-1. Knowles does not have a game week 4, so this is his only Block 2 game. All right, we got MGR as the next one at Nebraska. We already talked about, I'll just show it quickly just for completion's sake, but we already talked about this game, which he'll be playing, so don't need to rehash it. But we can touch on the 2 games he did play already, one of which being against Syracuse and Freak. He was able to win by 14. Really close game. Freak had, I think, some special teams. He had some special teams work because I saw MGR mention, he was like, "Oh, like I need you as a special teams coach," or someone was joking about that. So I think Freak had some good special teams plays. Might have run a fake, maybe. I saw rumblings of that in the chat. But he was able to pull out this victory. Continues his dominance over Freak. Started the year 1-0, and then he went to Miami and played Corey, and unfortunately was not able to go 2-0 against the ACC in Block 1. Dropped this game to Corey by 3, lost 17-20. But again, played him really close. Like I said, I think MGR is going to play everyone tight. So he's going to really be able to show if he can play everyone tight this week, because he's playing one of the big dogs in the NDL. He's playing Notre Dame and Rain. Rain has, let's see, what have you been up to this far in the season, Mr. Rain? I think he's played his game. Yeah, he also had a game against Corey. He won by 1. It's kind of a fun little round robin they've had this year and last year between Notre Dame, Nebraska, and Miami. They've all kind of played each other. But Rain was able to beat C Nasty by 1 at home. This one, of course, is in. Are they in Omaha? Lincoln. They're in Lincoln. This one's in Lincoln, so Rain doesn't get the benefit of home field advantage, but he also gets a little bit of a break in terms of overall, as Nebraska's not as high of an overall as Miami was. Like I said, MGR is going to play this one tight. It's going to be a 1-score game. I think this one flips his way. Typical round robin fashion. He drops his game to Miami, but I think he wins his game against Notre Dame. So I'm rooting for MGR in this one. Of course, he's the Big Ten guy, but hoping he can knock off the Fighting Irish and kind of kickstart his season into winning some of those bigger games that I don't think he's quite been able to do during his time in Nebraska thus far. So I think he's going to go 1-1, because I said Zoots would win the other game, so that'll put him at 2-2 after this block is my prediction. Now the next team is Northwestern. Outlaw. He's had a rough start to the year, all things considered. He dropped a tight one with Virginia, a close one with Virginia. I think I saw he fumbled. When I was watching the game, I think, jeez, he had the ball like in his own 20 or 30, fumbled, gave it back to Matt and NCX Blue. With Virginia was able to come away with a 10-point victory because of that, 24-14. So tight one. And then, fortunately, he did schedule a game that was going to be tough to keep competitive, and it wasn't really competitive. He played Jiggy in Florida. Jiggy did have the infamous 35-0 victory, of course, suggesting complete domination. I've been on the other side of that. Outlaw, yeah, I don't blame you. He's a tough one to knock at 35 by. So But valiant effort again. Major props to him for scheduling this game at all. So, good on him for taking on that challenge. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to beat the 35-0. And then so this week, oh my gosh, dude, his schedule is just, yeah, his schedule's tough. So this week, this isn't even a home game, man. He's going to Eugene. He's going to play Shell, who's 1-0. I know he just finished his game against Marine as I'm recording this. Well, I just finished. I think it was 2 hours ago. He beat Nevada, and then he hasn't played Solvine yet, so he's 1-0. This is a battle of the 1-0 team against the 0-2 team. This one's another one where I hope Outlaw has a great time playing, but my goodness, he's playing a really good coach in Shell. He's playing a really good team in Oregon. You see the overall difference. I mean, it's 89 versus 80, but you look at the actual overalls of the offense and defense, not even close. So yeah, I think Shell's going to win this one as well. So tough start for Outlaw, and then he has another really difficult out of conference game. He's going to stay at home, but he's going to host the Texas Longhorns and CG. CG, I think, stumbled in week 1. I want to say he lost. No, he won. He played Lingus. Yeah. So, yeah, that's right. So he played Lingus. He won the game, but lost a bit of the war. Lost a bit of the war. I don't think so. He has a couple players suspended, is why I say that. CG's going to have a couple players suspended during the season for a chew clock rule break. He's going to lose his starting running back and his safety, and it will apply to this game. So he's going to be missing his starting running back and his safety. See if maybe Outlaw can surprise some people just because CG won't have his leading rusher. I think does he not still have Alfred Blue? No, Alfred Blue's in the NFL now. I think Texas has another running back that's really good though. So he'll try his best to stop him though. I don't see it happening. Unfortunately, we got to be honest here in the big pod. We don't blow smoke up anyone's butt, and I gotta say, yeah, I don't see this happening. So I think an 0-4 start for Outlaw, tough start to the year, but he gets UCLA in week 5, so hoping maybe that'll kickstart his season, give him a game where the teams are a little closer overall. Holy smokes! So best of luck to him in this game. This is going to be a tough one. Now moving on to Shell, we briefly touched on it, but he only played one of his games in Block 1 so far. He played Nevada and U.S. Marine, beat him 31-0. This game wasn't close. He took care of business as he should, but of course playing one of his friends, totally respect that. Play the guys you enjoy playing. At the end of the day, we're just playing a video game. Have fun. Don't worry about what people say about your schedule. Now, I do want to touch on this. I touched on it last episode, but I think it's worth mentioning again. He's playing Louisville. This is like a new coach. He doesn't have to schedule this game. Goes out of his way, schedules a tough game. It's at Louisville, too. So just totally looking forward to that one. I do think Shell's going to take care of business in it. I already touched on the Northwestern game. I think Shell will pretty easily win that one, and then he has another locked-in game that he doesn't really change. So, I mean, really, people make fun of Shell's scheduling, but, like, he's going to play Marine every year because Marine's an Oregon fan. He's going to give Marine his Oregon game, and then he has to play Oregon State every year, so he really only gets one out-of-conference game, and he scheduled a new user who was really good with Coastal Carolina, and it's on the road, so don't hate on Shell for his scheduling. That's all I have to say. Okay, so Oregon State's not in the SEC, they're in the Pac-12. So, and this is... It's the other way. Okay. Yeah, so classic Big Ten Pac-12 matchup of Oregon State. But this one's at Oregon State this year. I want to see. Let's see. What was the score of this game last year? That's a good litmus test. They're a good bar to set. So let's see. We do live research when we're on the show. We don't really plan ahead a whole lot for this podcast, as you can tell. Achievements is not even what I want to look at. I want to look at his NDL seasons. But we're going to do it. I'm going to talk through it. I think Shell's going to win this game. I just want to see how much of a fight Doc was able to put up last year What the heck? This is this season 33. I If I had to guess, Shell probably won this game by like 14. He won it by 7. He gave up 21 fourth quarter points. He was up 35-21 at half. My goodness, you guys score a lot of points sometimes. Okay, so yeah, I think this will be a really tight game, especially with it being at Oregon State instead of at Oregon. So Shell was able to win 56-49 at home last season. And this exact matchup, he's going to repeat it at Corvallis. I think this one's going to be pretty tight. Like I said, I think he probably wins by a couple touchdowns, but I wouldn't be surprised if Doc has the ball late down 7, chance to tie, and Shell just kind of locks in, shuts it down, takes home the victory. His other game this week, we already touched on. So I think Shell's going to start the year 4-0 because I do think he'll beat Louisville, and then I think his 2 games this block are pretty easy overall wise. But this will be a tough one coach wise. Okay, and then I already talked about him. Okay, so now we're on D. Kennedy in Ohio State. He took care of business in block 1. Had a bit of a scare against Chase and VT running gun. It was closer than people would have expected. But his first game, he had no scare at all. He just took care of business. He played Kid Grader, won 30-0. It's kind of a weird score. He kicked 3 field goals? I don't know. He must have. I don't know how else he scored 30. Safety? 4 touchdowns on safety. But yeah, so he took care of business in this game. And then his game against Chase was a lot closer. Chase kept it very tight. But he did end up winning by a couple scores. He won by 17. So he was able to start the year 2-0, and then he has another road game. He's scheduled all road games. That makes sense because he gets doesn't he get like 2 points for that? So he gets the 2 points for the road win if he's able to win them. So smart of him to do that. But he's going to. Oh, they're in a weird. It's like someone. It's like a name. Like they're like Ole Miss is in. Man, it's like I swear it's like a guy's name, Ole Miss University. No, it's Oxford. Yeah, Oxford's kind of a name. It's a university name. But yeah, he's going to Oxford, takes on South Georgia Cracker. I think I saw he played maybe a beefy game. No, he did. He played Neal. Okay, he beat Neal by 10. I really like Neal. Neal's my only NDL referral I have in the league. We found each other through a different dynasty we were playing together. I really like Neal. He's a really good guy. But I would say giving Boston College versus Ole Miss, I haven't played Neal in a while. But I think South Georgia should have won that game by more than 10. I think that's not, oh shoot, sorry. I didn't even realize I hit that. Okay, there we go. So I think that doesn't bode well for South Georgia. So I think DeCandy's going to take care of business here. I think this is going to be another victory. I think he's going to start the year 3-0, and the reigning defending NDL champion is going to be going into his conference season undefeated out of conference. So the games he was able to schedule, I think he's going to be able to win. So we'll move on to the next squad. Shell. Oh, how did I accidentally talk about Shell already? Ohio State comes before Oregon. I don't know how I did that. Okay. So on to the next one. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anyone. Let's go through. Okay, we talked. Okay, sorry, impromptu going through. Yes. Okay, so yeah, we are in Smitty. So Smitty, oh my gosh, what a block one for Smitty. Let me put him. Yeah, we'll leave him here just because his one game this block's on the road. So his first game, played the NDO game of the week right after game day. I appreciate him waiting. I know there was rumblings that they might have. I think they were both ready to play on Friday, but they were nice enough to wait until Saturday to kind of have the NDL fully opened up. So they did wait, and then they played this game. And even though I have it on the screen as it was at Georgia, it was at Penn State, Smitty was able to take advantage of his home field advantage and take care of business in College Station. No, not College Station, University Park. Jose, like I said, man, he came into the season, did a great job with Missouri State. I think he's a great He's a great user. I had a bunch of fun in the couple scrimmages I played against him when he was at Missouri State. I think he's going to do a great job with Georgia, but he's going to struggle on the road because he's kind of someone who defaults to hot routes when he's playing. So it's tough when he plays these home field advantage games where his guy, because I think Gunnar Stockton doesn't have any mental abilities or any good ones. So he's going to miss one or two almost every play. So you're already cut to two at best. It was tough. It was tough for him to take advantage of it. Stockton missed a bunch of throws in this game. A lot closer than the score suggests, even though the score suggests the game was 24-10 was the final. I think this was easily a one-score game. Smitty had some big plays with Singleton, was just able to break away from some tackles, and he had a big drop pick. Jose had a big drop pick. Allowed Smitty to win. So the other game Smitty played was against another SEC team. He played an NDL veteran, D. Kane, Matt Commissioner. Shout out to my commissioner. This game was also kind of close, but again, Smitty's just so good at this game. I don't know how he ever loses. I guess I don't know, dude. He's really good. Not to glaze too much on the big pod, but I really like watching him play. He jokes. I mean, I think he's joking that he doesn't know what's going on half the time, but he does a really good job. He knows his stuff. He's fun to watch. I like the style of football he plays. I like his run heavy style. I try and snag a couple plays from him when I'm watching. So he was able to start the year 2-0. He won this game against Vanderbilt by a score of 41-17. So his last non-conference game is going to be against a Sun Belt team, which will be fun. Brady Senior, two run heavy guys. Brady Senior racked up a bunch of rushing yards with Appalachian State last year. He's stuck around after having been with Oregon State 2 seasons prior. So now Smitty's going to travel again. He's going to go to, I don't think they're in Appalachian, but he's going to go to Appalachian State. Beautiful stadium to play at. Watch this game, look in the background, see how cool EA really incorporated the mountains. It's very fun. It's very nice to look at. But I don't think this one will be close. Smitty just has so much of an overall advantage. He's only has a 11 overall advantage, but you look at his defense when against Brady's offense, he's a 19-point advantage. I think this will be a pretty easy win for Smitty. So Smitty's going to take care of his out-of-conference games just like D. Candy did, start the year 3-0 out-of-conference, and then move on to the Big Ten, his Big Ten plays in Black 3. Now, we got a guy that's, man, I mean, he's on a Big Ten school, but geez, they did not do him any favors with his ratings. We got Nidler. He's at Purdue. He played his first game against Kent State, who they should have gotten a ratings bump. They should not be a 68 overall. Are they lower than UMass? I mean, tangent, but I mean, if you clearly the EA Raiders don't actually watch Group of 5 games because Kent State played Central on Wednesday night, and it was a great game. Kent State returned a punt with like 10 minutes left in the fourth to make it like a 3-point game, and then Central did end up winning, of course. But Central played UMass and they won by like 50 points. Like Kent State is not worse than UMass. Like I actually watched it. Just watch the games. It's just terrible. It's lazy. Okay, sorry, ran off my pedestal. Now, but this game in the NDL world, Nidler unfortunately lost by 7. It was at home. He lost 24-31 to 6 feet. So really good coach at Kent State. Watch out for 6, trying to make a run back to the P4 by taking the lowest overall team in the MAC and see what he can do with them. He already has a win under his belt, so watch out. But rest of the year, Nidler has no more projected wins. His win goal is 2. Every other team he plays he's going to be at an overall disadvantage. He's going to start his Big Ten season against a pretty stinking good Big Ten team. He's going to cruising. He's going to USC. He's going to take on cruising. Cruising's not going to make this one close. It's good. Yeah. Best of luck to Nidler. Hope he enjoys playing the game. Cruising is a fun guy to play against, so I think he'll still have an enjoyable time playing the game, but I think Nidler should be very happy if he keeps this one under 21 points. Just hope he has fun playing because this is going to be a rough one. And then he has another game, which is going to be a rough one. He's going to host Notre Dame and Rain. I mean, we already talked about Rain. It's a pretty good start to the year. Was able to beat C Nasty. So then now he's going to have to take on, or now Nidler's going to have to take on him. And again, I hope he enjoys it. But geez, he's just at such 15 overall points. There's just you have to be a lot better than the guy you're playing and be like a top 15 NDLer yourself to win a 15 overall advantage. And I think Nidler's better than he gives himself credit for, but yeah, just I don't see it happening. Again, hope he keeps it under 21. I think he should be happy with himself. If he keeps it under 21, has an enjoyable time playing Rain. But good to see two admin playing. It's always kind of fun to see. But yeah, I think Nidler's going to go into block 3, 0-3. So then we got our next teams. MJ Kemp, we kind of touched on him already a little bit. Of course, projected he does beat Jeremy and Iowa. His other game he has is the game he did play. Oh man, this was a game. Like you guys gotta watch these Big Ten games. They're gonna be so good this year. So this one is incredible. Where do I even start? I guess we start. So he played Arkansas, Devin. I guess we should start with MJ. MJ should probably stop kicking the ball off ever. Like he should just pick squib kick every single time. Because his kick return team is terrible, or his kick coverage team is terrible. Because Devin returned 3 kicks for a touchdown in this game, which is disgusting. Anthony Parker, or is his name Parker? I think his name's Parker Anthony. 2 first names. That's always so tough when someone has 2 first names. Like which one is their first name? But Parker Anthony had 3 kick return touchdowns. I think he also had like 2 receiving touchdowns. The final score is 59-56. MJ Kemp did come away with the victory. Was just able to get enough stops and stop enough kickoff returns to win it. And great win for him. Great win for the Big Ten. Like I said, I'm really glad that he's back. I look forward to seeing what he can do with Rutgers. I think he has an outside shot at being a playoff team. I said it here first. But yeah, we're going to see what he has to do, what he can do with Rutgers. So, start the year 1-0. He's going to play Iowa. I think it's going to make him 2-0. And then his out of conference game this week, he's going to go to Kansas State. So let's make sure we get that right. He's going to go to Kansas State. And he's going to take on the Wildcats and Jaguars. Now, Jaguars is someone who's gone really under the radar, but I don't think he's going to go under the radar for much longer. He had a huge upset. I can't remember who it was that he beat. Oh, dang it, I clicked the wrong thing. But I can't remember who it was that he beat, but he had a big upset in Block 1 where I was like, whoa. He beat Vegas. So, in Tennessee. So you want to talk about an upset. So yeah, Jaguars is 2-0 with wins against Iowa State. Farmageddon's the name of their rivalry. You're like, why does Kansas State, Iowa State get the cool rivalry name and we go lame for Iowa State, Iowa? I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing there? But good on them for calling it cool. The Farmageddon. That's a cool one. That's a good one. But yeah, he won that game 49-36. He beat Vegas 2017. So, geez, oh my gosh. Yeah, he's not under the radar anymore. But I still think MJ Kemp's better than him. That's a tough one. I'm really Big Ten bias going to take MJ Kemp. This is a total coin flip. This is a total game. If you see this, keep your notifications on for the live stream. If you see this one pop up, watch it. Especially the fourth quarter. I can only fathom how crazy this fourth quarter is going to get. But I do think MJ is going to walk away with the victory. So I do think Rutgers is going to be able to start the year 3-0 after Block 2. I think he wins this one. He beats Iowa. So our next squad is a team I haven't talked about yet because he doesn't, just with how his schedule is, he doesn't play any Big Ten games until Block 3. So we're going to talk about T-Fan, UCLA. Now, T-Fan started the year against a Pac-12 opponent. He played Oregon State. He lost by 5, so good on him for playing competitively with a great coach and Doc. Doc had a huge win in the Beefy Cup last year against CG, and Michigan State. He was an outside playoff contender. Like I said, he played Shell really close. Only lost by 7 at Oregon, so definitely be on the watch out for this for Doc. So he did beat T-Fan, so T-Fan started the year 0-1. I actually think he technically played this Cincinnati game first, and then he played Cincinnati, and he just dominated him. I mean, I picked Cincinnati to win because I was like, I don't know, 3 overall difference. It's at Cincinnati, and just kicked his butt. He won 42-21 at Cincinnati. Showed me and hopefully showed the rest of the NDL. Okay, UCLA. Okay, maybe they'll do something. Maybe they will do something. So maybe he knew he might do something because his next game he scheduled was a pretty tough one. He scheduled a certain Cal over in Norman. He scheduled Oklahoma Sooners. He's going to have them come to the Rose Bowls where they play, right? Yeah. He's going to have them come to the Rose Bowl, and we'll see what he can do in this one. After he kicked Bear Ass's butt, I think he's going to keep it close. Sure, why not? Let's pick the upset. Let's go T-Fan. Let's pick T-Fan with the home field advantage to take care of Mort and start the year 2-1. So we got, okay, and then our next team, we got USC. Cruising hasn't played a game yet. He has a game scheduled against California, hasn't played it yet. And I actually picked both his other games, but I'll just show them already because he has 2 Big Ten games. So it's kind of interesting schedule for USC playing a Big Ten game week 3. So he's going to play Purdue. I think he wins this one pretty easily, like I said. And then he's also going to play Michigan State. This one's at Michigan State, though. So let's just flip it real quick. He's also going to play at Michigan State. And like I said, I think he's going to win this one, too. So I think he's going to start the year 3-0 if he does take care of California, as I expect. So hoping Cruising can do some good things. Hope he's finally able to get a regular season game, and always tough going through the first week of NDL, not being able to play your game. We got 2 teams left, the first of which is another Pac-12 team, Pac-12 transplant in Washington, Drewski. He had a rough start to the year. Well, actually a great start to the year because he played the Air Force game first. He played Dub at Air Force. A lot of people were like, whoa, Dub picked Air Force? What's up with that? I thought he was a Washington guy. Well, Drewski was nice enough to still let him play Washington. But man, he kicked his butt. He won 38-3, had a 35-point margin of victory, the biggest you can have in the NDL. And, yeah, I mean, not much else to say. He just kicked his butt. And then he played a great game, very entertaining game, tried to make a great comeback against TCU and Ceruzzi. He got close to making that comeback, but unfortunately was driving late, down 3, threw a pick, wasn't able to finish it off. But this was a very tight game. Drewski has a very high-powered offense. He has a lot of speed, so watch out for that if you're playing him. He's 1-1 because he was unfortunately dropped this game against TCU. He has a high win goal too, and his one game this week this block is not going to be easy either. He's playing the other Pac-12 team. Talked a lot about Doc this episode, but he's going to play the other Pac-12 team and Tim in Washington State in the Apple Cup. And I think this one's going to be a really good game. Tim's a perennial top 25 coach. He gets to pick his own schedule at Washington State, and he picks a very smart one where he's able to have very competitive games, games that he definitely has a shot in. It doesn't go and schedule games that he's like, oh, I'm going to lose by 35. Plays guys he likes to play. Kind of has become like a pseudo Mountain West team through that, which they match up well, rank well with him, so he's able to play very competitive games each week. And this one should be very competitive as well. I do think Drewski's going to win just because he has that 8 overall advantage. Last year, Steam was able to beat Tim at Washington State. Drewski gets the advantage of being at Washington, which I think does have like a home field advantage. Last time, I think when I played Steam, it might have been like a month ago, but I think they were like the 25 team. So if he does have that top 25 home field advantage, it's going to be tough for Tim. So best of luck to both guys in this game, but I do think Drewski's going to come away with a victory and hopefully turn his season around a little bit, get 2-1, maybe get to that win goal. Because he's a tough game, block 3. He's going to play Ohio State. And now the very last team, we have the Wisconsin Badgers. Oh, that one. And he has a game against Razorback. I think I saw him mention that one of them is busy this week and one of them is busy the next week. So hopefully they get the game in and it doesn't get simmed. Next week, of course, is going to be busy for everyone on Thanksgiving. I hope you guys are able to meet up with your families and be thankful for what you are able to be thankful for. That being said, as we're talking about, and let's get back to some NDL football, not be too sappy on the pod, we're going to go to his first game of Block 2 is against an ACC team. Speaking of blocks, he's playing Block M. This game is in Wisconsin. So we'll see what he can do in Madison against SMU. I think, like I said, I think RB plays everyone close. I think he'll play this one close. This should be honestly a pretty fun game to watch from two NDL vets. Kind of see what they have to do. They're two guys who they like playing a sim style of football. So I think if you like watching a sim style of football, I'd watch this game. I'm gonna go with my guy RB just because he's in the Big Ten. Got to root for my Big Ten bros. But yeah, I think I could also see Block 1 and totally going to be a great game. They both play a very sim style football. So if you want to watch a sim football game, watch this game. It'll be very close. Now, the other game he has is his first Big Ten game. I already touched on it. He's going to play Victim in Maryland. It's at Maryland. And I do think, and like I said, I do think he's going to win this game. I think it'll be very close. I think again, these guys are also NDL vets. I think they're going to have a very fun game if you want to watch. Like I said, if you're like, oh man, I can't stand the 80-50 games between Auburn and Middle Tennessee. It's a crime that NDL, that guys score 130 combined points in one game. Don't watch this game. These guys are going to play. These guys play sim. These guys know the rules. These guys follow the rules. It's going to be a good game. But I do think RB is going to come away with the victory. So I think RB is going to start the year. Hopefully start the year 3-0, but we'll see how his Colorado game goes. So, with that is all the Big Ten talkings that I have. I guess we'll leave it with. Well, let's see. Let's pick who I think will be in the Big Ten championship. I still think Ohio State. I mean, I really like Smitty, so I think this will be the Big Ten game. We'll just leave this on the screen as I kind of talk through the outro. I appreciate anyone. I think it looked like I had a couple live viewers during the podcast, so I appreciate anyone who turned in live. I appreciate anyone who's turning in afterwards. Like I said, again, going to set up the chapters so you can kind of skip through, just watch your teams talk. I kind of prefer this format to trying to write something out because I can get really lost in the weeds while I'm trying to write articles about every team, or write an article including every team and thinking about how to do that. So I just kind of keep this in this alphabetical order so I can kind of just ramble, talk, take an hour during Friday to kind of reassess everything that's going on in the NDL. It keeps me current, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I thank you, everyone who's played their games, who's taken the time to work through playing their games. I do want to commend you guys. I was going through the coach reports thus far. No one's gotten less than 5 out of 5, so great job to you guys for playing through all your games and playing through all them while following the rules. I look forward to seeing how you guys do in the rest of the year. I look forward to seeing how you guys do in the Beefy Cup, and I'm really thankful to be your guys' commissioner, and I look forward to this. I look forward to seeing how this season goes. Keep fighting. We're on a great start to the year. I think we have a great chance of putting a lot of teams in the playoff, and hopefully we convert on the opportunities that we've been given. And as always, long live the NDL, and fire up chips. Later, guys. See you next week. Well, I'll take next week off for Thanksgiving, but I'll see you in 2 weeks.